Yeah.
I think it's safe to assume on both sides it is zero. Women Wage Peace was founded in 2014 when then Protective Edge Operation, when Israel went to Gaza, and it seemed like it was an unprecedented level of violence, death and destruction there. It looks minuscule now. But when that happened, women who were living in Israel decided that they needed to come together within a tradition of women's activism for peace, right? And particularly in Israel, as you may know, there was Women in Black in the 80s, there was the Four Women around the Lebanon wars, there was a coalition of Women for Peace in the 2000s. You know, there's sort of a tradition of women's activism for peace in the country. What was different about Women Wage Peace was that they wanted to widen the tent, to really widen the umbrella so that women of all ideological backgrounds can feel welcome. That this wasn't a political movement, that it was nonpartisan, that it was really about women connecting as mothers, as caretakers, as sisters, as humans who want to raise people to live and not to die. And so they currently characterize themselves as the largest grassroots peace movement in Israel with a mission for a nonviolent and mutually accepted political solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict that ensures the active participation of women at all stages of the process. Fast forward a few years ahead, in 2021, big surprise, another round in Gaza, this time Guardian of the Walls. I don't know who comes up with these names. What kind of PR company does those? But that's when Palestinian women, and these are women who are living in Gaza, in the West Bank and East Jerusalem and elsewhere, diaspora, also decided that they wanted to come together and make sure that women are part of the political process on their side, and formed Women of the Sun. And Women of the Sun and Women Wage Peace have become these sister organizations who are really working in lockstep. And everything that they do is really something that comes out of their joint efforts. Now, Women Wage Peace, as I mentioned, that wider tent, that means that there are women there who might even live in settlements in the West Bank, and there are women who are Palestinian citizens of Israel who live in Haifa and are active within the peace movement. The idea was really that this is a place for women to come together and agree on a common ground. And one of those common grounds is called the Mother's Call. And if you look it up, you'll see that it really is a very basic call for collaboration, for political alternatives, and for the leadership to make sure that women are part of these processes. And actually, recently the Pope endorsed it. So that was an interesting addition to their long list of endorsers, and you too can become part of that. Speaking of Georgetown, just today, the Georgetown Institute for Women, Peace and Security announced an award for both of these organizations, Women Wage Peace and Women of the Sun. It's a peace building award that they will be getting later this month, which again is part of the growing recognition of this work and the importance of making sure that women's voices are in this sphere and is acknowledged. Because as you all said, they're not there. They're not there, but they're paying the price. They're not there, but they're out in the front lines. They're not there where the decisions are made, but they're there when they're burying their children. And I think that it comes from that really deep human connection, as mentioned here before, one of grief, of pain, of fear, that really brings them